Hello, my friends. Well, how y'all doing out there, YouTube land? I'm doing very well. Today I'm going to show you how I modified my roof vent fan, my maxxair, and I'm basically making it so that it's a lot more streamlined and it looks a lot less like a maxxair. So what I'm basically doing is I'm using some 1/4-inch plywood and Eternabond tape, which is like, it's kind of like plastic tape. It's hard to explain, but it's like rubberized plastic tape. And I'm wrapping it around some plywood. I'm making a box. So what inspired this whole thing in the first place is this roll of Eternabond tape that I was given. I helped this guy put a roof vent in a few weeks ago, and he said, "I don't need this. You want it?" I said, "Yeah." This stuff is super expensive, so that's going to be very useful in this project. So here is the cover thing that I made. It's just with 1/4-inch plywood, and this is like vinyl, PVC vinyl stuff. I use this instead of wood because it's already kind of the size I want, and it's pretty strong and it's less likely to warp, but of course I'm using plywood anyway. The original idea was to use Lexan, this is where the cover is going to be made of, and cover the entire thing in Lexan, like all the sides and everything, that way the plywood would never warp. But this stuff is super expensive, like unbelievably expensive. This is like 18 by 24 piece, and it was $70 plus tax. Of course, that's in Canada where everything's more expensive, but you know what? I thought I'm just gonna use $10 piece of plywood. Essentially the reason for this is there's a couple reasons. Number one, I want to get rid of the fin thing that sticks way up. And it's going to be a lot more stealthy when I'm done. So when I'm done, the finished project is, well, there's a number of things I have to do. First of all, I'm making this box instead of having the fin. Second thing is I'm raising the solar panels, because one of the parts of this project is I'm going to put a second roof vent in. And I'm not going to install a professional fan. I'm just going to use computer fans, 4 computer fans hooked together. And I did some testing, and funny enough, the fans turn not very fast, so I don't know what's going on with that. Why they're not going zzz, they're just going, well, they're going a little bit faster, but there's not a lot of airflow coming through those fans, so I'm not really sure why that's happening. If anybody knows, leave me a comment in the comment section below. It'd be much appreciated. So step one, make the fan, get rid of the fin, make it into a box. Second step, raise the solar panels so that I can do the third step, which is stick a roof vent underneath there. I'm going to raise the solar panels by about 1.5 inches using some 2x4, and I'm hoping that's enough. I want to raise it a little bit so that I can have some airflow, but I don't want to raise it too much because I'm hoping just to use the solar panels as a way to block rain, especially when going down the highway. I'm very confident that it'll work without, like when I'm just stationary, but it's when you're driving, or just leave an open thing with no roof vent cover at all. Hopefully the solar panels will be enough. Kind of an experiment. I'm gonna find out what's happening. So that's the whole project. When the second roof vent is in, I'll be able to turn on my maxxair, and it's gonna suck out, and the second roof vent is going to suck in with the computer fans to create a airflow situation. Eventually, when I have more money, I will probably get a proper roof vent fan to suck in properly. But I don't want to spend the money on it just yet. I want to take one step at a time. Maybe this will be enough with just the computer fans. I'm not sure. So that's the idea. Got the first layer of Eternabond on here. This is the bottom. I'm doing the bottom down. It's the concept of roofing, where you have shingles where the tape will be over on this edge, so the water will go down over the tape, so water will be less likely to get to the plywood. Okay, got the Lexan on top. I just eyeballed the screws. I tried to be precise in the beginning, when I was like, I'm just gonna eyeball it, nobody's gonna see it, who cares? Not everything has to be super precise. Anyway, there she is. Next step, put the Eternabond from here down to there. Alright, the Eternabond is on. And looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. I got some left, so I think I'm going to put a strip across these screws. I don't know how necessary that is, but I'm going to do it anyway. Alright, it's done. Now to put it on the roof. I used every single bit of the Eternabond, and I had some left over, so I said, I'll stick it on the inside. Why not? I'll use it. I don't know. This should be the driest spot of the whole area, so that's why I left it the most wood exposed. If it develops a problem, I will have to address it at that time. There we go. So this is what it looks like without the cover on. It's really dirty, but it's clean on the inside. I used some alcohol to clean it really well. And I had to leave this black little thing on that lifts the cover up, because the little dial thing, the little thing that lifts the roof, I can't get it off without making a mess, so I thought, I'll just leave it. I mean, I could, but I might break it, so since I don't really want to buy a new roof vent because I broke the thing, just leave it as it is. One thing I did try was this is the way it's supposed to be, with the big lip at the back and the small lip at the front, so that when the original cover's on, it's kind of goes like this, right? But I turned it around thinking, I'll get more airflow if the back lip is lower, so that it's more open here. But then I realized, number one priority, make sure no water gets in here. So whatever I can do to stop that from happening is what I'm going to do first. And hopefully with the fan turning, it will be enough. But this is just an experiment. Let's see what happens. It's nice and clean. I cleaned the blades with some alcohol, and yeah, these little buggers came apart, and I can't remember which one goes where. I know the black one's positive, but I don't know which one's which, and I tried them both ways and neither worked, so maybe I blew a fuse. I'm gonna leave that little problem for later, but it does let in a lot more natural light. Alright, so as you can see, I have elevated the bottom of the plywood about a half inch, a little bit more than a half inch above the bottom. I mean the top of the roof, so that water, I don't want this sitting in water, so I'm just raising it a bit above, That way it's not always sitting in water. This is going to be covered by Turnabond, of course, so it should be waterproof anyway, but I'm just being extra cautious. There we go, job complete. It's pretty much exactly the way I imagined it. One of the other benefits of doing this is before my fan was covering my solar panel a bit. So since this is clear, perhaps it will affect the solar panel less. I don't know. I'm still not sure if any rain's going to get in there. Let's see what happens. Worst case scenario, I'll make some adjustments, yada yada yada. Oh, and the third part, or fourth part I guess, is I'm going to make a rectangular box around the solar panels and the roof vent fan, so from the street you won't be able to see any solar panels or roof vent fan at all. It's going to mean that there's going to be about 6 inches of black plywood around the top of my roof, so that might look a little weird. I'm not really sure how that's going to go yet, but I'm going to try it, because in order to get the second roof vent fan in, I definitely need to raise the solar panels, and they're going to be up in the air anyway, so I got some ideas about that. I'm going to see how that goes. Alright my friends, well there you have it. The roof vent fan with a more unique... I've never seen this done before, by the way, so I'm gonna try it, see what happens. So far I know that there's no leaks. I've had it in for a couple weeks now. I did most of these videos a couple weeks ago, and there's been no water intrusion at all, even through heavy rain. I'm not worried about any water problems. Oh look, cyclists. 1, 2, 3. So there's been no leaks at all, so I'm not worried about that, as that was my major concern. And there seems to be enough airflow, even though it's not the custom OEM design maxxair system. It's still lots of airflow, so I'm not worried about that. Alright, well there you have it. Thanks for watching, and be well my friends.